it's just funny how palates work out, because typically I'm not a big white fan. I generally don't, and Emily is kind of 50-50, I would say. I mean, and Craig definitely likes red more than whites, I think, but he also, the whites that he likes are usually completely different than the whites that so it's really fun when you're talking about why does having 3 different palates, choosing 4 different wines every single month matter? Well, this is why, because there's wines that I might love, and this has happened quite a bit, where I love it, and they're like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And they do the same thing, where they're like drinking a wine, and I'm like, I don't get it, and then they love it, so.
It's interesting to watch, because I would have guessed, after, Craig and I have been married for almost 15 years, so I would have guessed that our palates would have grown together more than they have. No, it turns out I actually wind up agreeing with Damien more often than I agree with Craig when it comes to what wine I like. We didn't know this going in.
Nope.
No clue. And then there are times, like I have one in my club this month that neither of them were really big fans of, but I loved. And it's just interesting to see how it all plays out, because it is very different. And there's no clear way, chick wine versus big bold red guy. There's none of that goes on in this group. It could be any wine any one of us could like. It's hard to say.
And one thing I will say, when we're going through and tasting through wines, and we're trying to come up with our 4, sometimes there's a lot of crossover, and we'll only have maybe 7, say, I think is the lowest number I've seen, something along those lines. And there's other times where we have very few, maybe 1 wine will cross over a couple of ours, but everything else is different. And that was shocking to me. I mean, honestly, when we taste through, probably to pull 1 wine, we probably taste anywhere between 10 to 12 wines to get to 1. So, we're doing a lot of legwork for you guys. So, and between our palates, we're all different when it comes to what we like. And so I think we have a pretty fair representation of many different palates across the board. And if you would have told me when we started this venture that was going to be the case, I would have said you're crazy.
Good wine's supposed to be good wine, right? Like you get something and you look at it on a score on Wine Spectator or something like that, and man, it's a 95. It must be amazing wine. Well, that might be true, but when you look at how they judge wine on how perfect of a representation is of that wine. It's like going to a dog show. Let's be honest, where there's all these different breeds, and what they're looking for is what is the most representation, the best representation for that breed. Not whether you like a small dog or a big dog or a sport dog or a working dog or a dog. That's not the point. Is not your individual preference. It's about what is a perfect representation. So you can find wines that are highly scored that are perfect representation for that varietal, but maybe it's not the sort of varietal and style that I particularly care for. So I can think of at least one time where Damien was like, "This is grade A++. I love everything about this wine," and I think my only tasting note was nope. And that's all. I don't remember. I didn't even write anything else down about it because this was not for me. It was not what I like in a wine. And so when you start tasting through and you start getting to know my wines versus wines I like to pick versus ones Emily or Damien like to pick, you get very different representation of who we are and what we like. And once you find someone that starts to match well with you, or maybe you really like when Damien's picking a white, maybe that white is just stellar for you. But maybe you love Emily's reds, and maybe that's your blend. And so you can mix and match through our club, and you can pick from each person's thing and go, okay, well, gosh, I really like it when Damien does this. Gosh, I really like it when Emily does this. And boom, now you've made your own club. Technically, you might sign up for any one of ours, and you get an opportunity every single month to go through it and customize, to pick what you want and how you want your wine to be presented. So a lot of opportunities there, I think, that are just, I love it, and I don't think we have very few club members that actually stick with their prescribed plan.
We have one.
Almost everybody switches in and out something.
That one club member is a member of all 3 clubs, so they just get everything, and then everybody else mixes and matches.
Which I highly recommend as a buying option. Going through and buying all of the wines that we offer at any given month is a highly recommended thing. I think that you're going to get a wide swath, and you're going to get a great. No, I'm joking. It's pretty fun when you go through. I've been doing this for a while, and you go through and you're tasting through wines, and the sheer volume. Our joke is during wintertime when we were first starting out, trying to pick out our first month or 2 of wine, we had a snowstorm, so we had 3 different deliveries of samples. We tried 17 different wines, and I don't think we picked one of the entire 17. Maybe one.
Maybe one. Yeah, it was
Something
not much.
along those
It was yeah.
So when we're out here, killing ourselves to give you guys the best, no, I'm joking. It's crazy when you think of the volume of wine that's out there and all the different flavor profiles that it hits. And when you find gems and you can come back and revisit them, that's another fun thing about our wine club is we have these things. So if you get it in January and you loved it, you can still get it for a while, not forever, but you can get it for a while and be able to taste back through it and order more of that particular one. That's what kind of makes it fun. So when you're talking about mixing and matching, it's not only mixing and matching on what is that particular month per se, but you can mix and match and pull from and I love this one. So then you can go and become a member of that particular winery. So if you're talking, oh my God, I love all these Tanjuli wines. These are all fantastic. Well, you can go to Tanjuli, or you can have us go to Tanjuli for you, and we can provide it for you and deliver it by hand.
I think one of the things that's really interesting is so around the Tri-Cities region, I don't know how many wineries it is anymore, but it's over 100 wineries within an hour drive, well over 100 wineries, and each of those wineries are going to be they're going to be producing anywhere between 4 and 20 varietals. And so when you start doing the math about how many wines it is just in an easy day trip from the Tri-Cities, it becomes an overwhelming number. And so all kidding aside, there's a point which we've tasted a lot of wine and we like to stop tasting wine, and so there's a point where your palate just kind of dies. You've had enough, and it's very difficult for an individual to go out there and do that. So that's one thing that's really important about what we're doing here is I mean, I don't want to say it's a public service, right? We want you to buy wine,
but it absolutely
but it is also a public service, because this is tough at times. You know how many times there are plenty of times I'm like, nope, this wine is just no. This wine is no. This
He
wine is
only
no.
writes that for one distributor who can handle it when Craig does that in front of him. Everybody else, he writes some notes and then puts a letter grade that tells him that he doesn't like it.
So the point being that for you to go out and do this, it's going to be hard. You're going to have to really commit to it. But we're making that commitment for you to make sure that we can bring you wine that fits our palate, and wineries that are interesting and fun, and winemakers who are just amazing. Yeah. So that's what I'm really excited about.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we're drinking beer after tasting days because we need a little break. Well, at least I am drinking beer.
Or a stiff cocktail. One of the
two. Just for a day, just to give a little break. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's the other thing is, what? We all like a variety of beverages, so it's, you're not going to see us, we're not wine only sort of folks, so we love a lot of different things.
Well, and that's one of the fun things. When you're talking about, hosting events and doing different things, I think, we can help with all of it, believe it or not. So when you're talking about, I really wish I had like a signature cocktail to be able to have this thing, well, we're going to be able to help you with that. I mean, those are some of the things we're doing. We're going to be talking about some different mixers and different things that we're going to be going through. We try to put up recipes that are doing these kinds of things with wine, but also cocktails, because there's a lot more to the wine industry than just wine. Verjus, a bunch of different things that you can add to it and enhance your cocktails with. But also, you'll see some stuff as we get going through there. There's going to be ciders. There's potential for some beers. All these different kinds of things are things that we want to do, because what we really want to be is we want to be here for you guys. There's a lot of experience at this table, whether that is playing around and making our own concoctions, or whether that is through mixing and being a mixologist, or whether that is through tasting all the different wines or tasting all the different mixers. Because who wants to go through and taste through all different kinds of liqueurs and things like that when you could know, hey, this is amazing and this is going to be great. So when you're having that that party at your house and you're looking for some people to come and kind of help give a little different feel, we can do that too. So we're kind of a one-stop shop. I'm not saying we're not tooting our own horn, but we can do pretty much everything, and we're going to start doing events. So now that COVID is starting to get under a little bit of control and people are getting vaccinated and things are opening up, and you're going to start seeing some fun events that are going to be coming out in our area, and we hope to bring not only amazing wines, but great food, great experiences. And one of the things I think you guys will all be able to say about us if you ever experience any of us, either individually or in a larger setting, is that we like having fun. know?
Yeah.
Wine can be fun, great. It is fun. I think it's a great enhancement, but we just like to have fun. So, it's one of those things where if you're coming through and you're trying to find something to do, you want to have a group of people over, and you want to be able to maybe do a little bit more than just sit back and drink the entire time. You want to do a little bit of wine training. Welcome to you, and we'll make you feel comfortable, and we'll make you understand as much of the wine as you're comfortable understanding, and we'll walk you through whatever process, whatever level you are, whether you are somebody who's been drinking wine for 40 years or somebody who literally is just getting into wine or wants to get into wine. We're here for you. We have our wine lists, we have our wine clubs, and we can also custom order anything out there. So if you're looking for something that you can't find, let us know, and we're here to help you.
Absolutely. I think that's such a key point. Is I don't have any interest in making you like my wine, the wines that I like. I want to find wines that you like. And I want to share my journey through my wine experience with you. And so when you order a club of wines from my club or wines that I like, it's a representation of who I am, what I like. And if you don't like it, it won't hurt my feelings, not even a little bit. You could, so if you find a wine that you really like, or that you're really digging on something that's not what my style's, that's fantastic. I can help with that too. I can say, hey, look, Damien loves this sort of wine. Maybe this would be just perfect for you. Maybe Emily loves this style of wine. I think maybe that would kind of fit what you're looking for. So we're interested in having that conversation. Send us a message. Give us a call. Send us an email. And we'll set up a time. We'll chat with you, and we'll help you figure out what you want and what you need.
I think given that we are as usual having too much fun, we just keep going. But I think we can now wrap this up, and we'll catch you next time we have a group of wines that we're ready to taste through with you.
So visit us at cdwineventures.com. Check us out on Facebook. Like I said, send us a message. Reach out to us, and we will make sure that we have the right pairing for you. So don't hesitate. Don't worry about it. We're not going to hold this over someone's head. If you want to put ice in your wine because that's what works best for you, so make sure it's really chill. Great. That's fantastic too.
Formal all the way down to casual. We're here to be here for you. That's really what it boils down to.
Absolutely. So how can we make your wine experience better? So reach out to us, and we hope to see you soon.